Hello, welcome back to episode 3 of my Minecraft Hardcore World. This video is going to be more of a talkover episode because I didn't have a lot of time and space to record what I was saying while I was playing. So hopefully I'm going to be able to put this video together pretty well. But what I'm going to do in this episode is hopefully get enchanted, so an enchantment table, and finish the tower on my base because I didn't get to that in the second episode, which if you haven't seen, you can go back and watch that. So we only have 16 leather right now, so we need to go find cows and other animals because we only have bread for food, and I would like to have meat for food because it is better. So I will see you once I find those. Immediately, when I go to find animals, pillagers pop up. So I take care of these really quickly. Not the hardest thing in the world. Not long after I go off to find animals, I find this lava pool. It's like literally right next to my base area. So I just decide to put down some water, get my 14 obsidian for another portal and the enchantment table. So at this point, I've been looking for cows for 15 to 20 minutes, and I've only found one, which I killed straight at the beginning of my search. And now I found a plains biome, and I'm worried there's going to be a village, but I know there's going to be cows up here, like 100%. So I come up over the ledge, and immediately, village, and to the left, there's cows. Village, I want to focus on the things that I've already started, like finishing the base, getting enchanted, that kind of thing. And villagers just take up a lot of time and attention, and it's just a big project I don't want to start right now. So for now, I'm ignoring the village, pretending it's not there, but I'll come back to it later in the series, assuming I don't die, obviously. But basically, I just lure these cows back to my base just like the sheep, so that I don't have to make this search again, and I can just have them at my base, which means we have to breed them, and it'll take even longer for me to get the leather that I need for the enchanting setup, which is extremely annoying. Now I'm crafting my enchantment table, and I'm gonna put it in the tower, forgetting that I never finished the tower. So then I begin that, and that's its own whole, ugh, it's its own whole other process. That takes me a lot longer than it should have, but it's okay. So I'm gonna throw in a time lapse of me building a bit of it, and I'll come back. So I've spent 5 to 10 minutes putting this together. I'm not happy with the floor of it because it's too square and it's just big, takes up a lot of space, and it just makes it feel lopsided from the bottom to the top because the main part of the house looks flat, or not flat, but shorter, and the top just looks big and chunky. So then what I go on to do is I want to change the floor and make it circular, but I don't want to change where the support parts are for the ceiling of it because I like the ceiling of the tower, but not the floor. And usually when you make something round, you cut the corners, but that's where the supports are. So I can't cut the corners, so I have to try to make it circular and smaller so that it looks better and more appealing on the eye, I guess. Yeah. And so what I'm gonna do is try to round it and droop in the middle of it to cover up that space. Okay, as you can see here, I've rounded it by stretching the sides, which I didn't know if that would work because then it takes up more space, but it's flatter and it's using slabs, so there's less height to the blocks. And it looks okay right now from like the outside, but now what I'm doing is just adding a little bit of a slope going into the middle from the bottom of the floor so that it takes up the space in between the main support pillars and it looks less flat and rigid, which makes it easier to look at and just more aesthetically pleasing. Okay, from here you can see I've started adding more slabs underneath, going into the middle with dripstone coming down. I'm hoping to leave this place open so that it's dripping into the main area. I'm hoping that'll make a cool effect. Right now I'm just trying to make it so it's not as thick so you can still kind of see through it, but also letting it breathe and still covering up that space in the middle of the main supports. What I'm noticing is that the outside is feeling too airy, like outside around the support pillars. So what I'm going to start doing is adding more dripstone around the whole bottom of the base of the tower. Okay, so now I've added those dripstone, which I'll add more to those later. But now what I'm worried about is the roof of the main part of the house coming to the support pillars. It just feels like there's too much space in between the floor of the tower and the ceiling of the main of the house. So what I want to do is take up some of that space. I thought about just sloping the ceiling from both sides towards the support pillars, but what I'm deciding to do is use more dripstone coming up from the top of the roof and just filling that space with dripstone, which I think comes out a lot better than just sloping the roof with just plain cobblestone. Um, and it just does a lot more to bring the whole thing back together rather than making it feel like just two separate builds with one just popped right on top. So now I've finished adding in all the dripstone I want to, and I've added in a ladder to get the way up. I put in those stone brick blocks just on the back because I just didn't like how much sky we were seeing through the back of it. Through the sides and the front, it's not horrible. Not really much, as you can see, unless you go all the way to the side, but I think it's fine. So we just added those brick blocks there. And then on the ladder, I just fixed this roof part really quick because it was bugging me. The ladder, it has planks on the bottom just to match the inside, cobblestone to match the roof, and then as you go up past the cobblestone, there's dripstone because from the outside it'll blend better with the other dripstone around, like you can see here. It just doesn't look like there's a gap. So here I'm just experimenting, adding some sort of barrier on the top around the sides because it just feels too open once you get up there. It'll be a little bit less open when you add in the rest of the bookshelves, but I try these cobblestone walls. It doesn't work because it just blends in with the floor and the ceiling of the tower, so it just looks like one big cobblestone blob, which isn't what we want. So I'm gonna take those out and then we'll figure something else out in the future because we don't just want a cobblestone blob at the top as the main part of our base. Here I've just started our cow area. I'm gonna do a time lapse of me getting all the leather that I need, but it just takes a lot of time for these to breed and actually have enough to be able to continuously breed to have enough cows where I can get the rest of the leather that I need to complete the bookshelves, which is really annoying and taking a lot longer than I originally thought I would, because I thought I would just be able to find all the cows in the forest. As you saw from the time lapses, we finally got the leather that we needed for the enchantment table set up. I don't have enough wood though, which is insane. We had a close call with the creeper, which means I need to be a lot more careful, especially after a night, because I had been waiting for the cows to grow up so that I could keep breeding them to get the leather. I got lucky that the cows were all in the way and they were pushing the creeper away from me, but we did get our leather and we have our full enchanting setup, and I like to set it up like this here just so it looks better. And that's all the time I have for this episode. It took me a lot longer to make than usual. It's a little bit longer than the other episodes. We made a bit more progress than usual, which is better. Hopefully more episodes will be like this. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment if you have any suggestions for naming the series, or suggestions for the base, or the farms. Hope you enjoyed. See you in the next one.